All right, guys, give me one sec here. I'm gonna pull in Busk, and we'll have a co-caster here for this one. All right, Busk, how's it going? Give me one sec here. We'll sync up the replay panel, and then we will get underway here. You there, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do. You all set with the replay panel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do a 3, 2, 1, go, and then on go we unpause together.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome everyone to a replay cast here. This is round 2 of the winner bracket here from cycle 1. We have the Doghouse taking on Backdoor Protocol. Again, a best of 1 series here. So the winner moves on to the round of 3. Gonna be joined here by Busk. What's going on, Busk? Thanks for joining me here for a cast.
Yo, what's up? Just nice to cast with you. I haven't done it in 10 years, I think.
I think we did some maybe in-house league, some fun casts a couple months
Really?
back, but
yeah, maybe you're
but as
right.
far as like real tournament games, I don't know if we've actually casted together. But well, we just played the tournament this weekend. A lot of really good matches here. B Pro and Doghouse, two formidable teams, I would say, here on the scene. I think it's safe to say anything could happen in a best of 1, as we know from the past and whatnot.
Oh, for sure.
So, anyways, I'll let you take me through the bands here and let me know what you think.
Okay. So Snoopy bans Midas, Prisoner, Gladiator. Seems like these kind of mid heroes, most of them. You would run like a 2 probably.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So we also have Blitz, Engineer, Monarch, like pure support bands. I can see the Monarch and the NG. I don't know Blitz. I haven't really seen Dude play that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, the Blitz band is quite interesting. I think
That's
maybe
the only one
Dude
that
plays
stands
that
out,
from
right?
time to time, but like
Okay.
even the Midas, Prisoner, Gladiator, I would say those are not your like typical blind bands. Definitely some, I think, some player respect bands perhaps in this
I think
series.
it makes a little bit sense considering the Hellbound team. I think I've seen them play a lot of Prisoner and Gladiator.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Imbacona guy, he likes to play the Glad, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've seen Imbacona play Gladi, yeah.
So they're like a different kind of team. I would say they stand out a lot. The Hellbound team with the way they pick, they pick very unorthodox. I would say.
Speaking of unorthodox, first pick accursed from Hellborn. Now they didn't have the overall first pick. We see the Nymphora coming out from Znuki. I think it's safe to say you probably like that Nymphora pick. We also run that hero a lot in our team. Very powerful support option in the current meta with the global TP and the heal. But
Yeah.
accursed and Magnus. What do you think about the first pick accursed from Backdoor Protocol?
Yeah. So Accursed is usually a hero you pick to counter. I would say. It does a certain heroes that it's really good against.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You can instantly remove a hard disable.
Yeah.
It isn't really like a counter to Nymph, I would say, not at all. But maybe they're planning to pick a hero that needs to be kept alive. I don't know what their thought process is behind it.
You know what's interesting, and I agree with you about the Nymphora. It doesn't necessarily counter the Nymphora, but look what they picked up after the Nymphora, the Kinesis. Stasis Smash. That's a big cooldown from the Legion side. That's the Fire Shield from a curse removed. So that's an ultimate
Yes.
that he can take off. That's a huge one. And they picked that into the Accursed as they wanted to pick up the Kinesis for that Magnus Lava Surge. So a bit of counter picks going back and forth already between the two teams.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the fact that Mag isn't Hellborn makes it totally worth it. Kinesis is just a different hero with Mag.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We see a lot of Kinesis to counter Magnus to have the
And
lava surge.
Forest
South
as
Forest,
well.
yeah.
So I'm guessing that's gonna be the Snooky Forest, right?
I
Most.
think it's safe to say that's a good guess. I think we've seen a lot of Snicky South Forest in the past. I've seen Ozlov play, but he's not here. They have Mosher stepping in for him. So they are playing with 4 of their 5 main roster for this match. And I think I would have to agree. I think we'll see Znuki play the Lord Forest. They're still needing that Fa hero, that You know, when we see Fa in these tournaments, we think of heroes like Tremble, Doctor Repulsor, Gemini, and I want to go through the bans already as we see Gemini is going to be one of those bans, but it's actually banned out from Snooki. So that's actually
Yeah.
kind of interesting. He bans out one of his carry player signature heroes. He also takes out the Sandwraith and the Arachna. So
Very
Arachna, that's
interesting.
an interesting ban. What do you think about those three from Snooki?
Yeah, I have no idea. I would not have expected that at all. Maybe he knows something about the Helbon team that I do not know. Maybe Snark likes to run Arachne. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I do want to comment on with these bans is the fact that I don't really feel like the Helbon team is banning out 4 heroes at all. Like
Yeah.
Mannequin, Oogie, Tempest, that doesn't really strike me as 4 heroes. And that is very surprising to me, I would say.
Yeah, I
Like,
actually really agree with you there. Those bans do not scream heroes that Doghouse tends to like to run.
so I'm not sure what he's thinking with these bans. I mean, especially I think the one that really stands out is the Doctor, because it's great with Nymphora as well, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
if I
true.
was the Helbon team, I would certainly be very afraid of them picking Doctor. And the Tremble, yeah, I think you already mentioned that. He
Hmm.
really likes to run the Tremble as well.
Yeah, so Fa definitely has his options here. We'll see what the drafter Znuki piloting the picks here will decide to pick up for him. Now we see a Plague Rider into a Lodestone. So we don't have a carry picked up just yet, but we have a lot of team fight built on the side of Backdoor Protocol between the Magnus, the Plague, and the Lodestone. And then behind those heroes, they have that Accursed for some defensive support. Um, how the heck are we going to see these heroes lane? There's a lot of unusual heroes, I'd like to say, picked up here, being maybe
Yeah.
the Plague specifically and the Accursed. But is that going to be like a Plague Rider support, or I mean, they still definitely need a carry. I want to say with that lineup, they don't have a damage dealer yet. How the heck are these heroes going to lane,
Yeah,
Busk?
that is, I think that's a really difficult question. I think that Lodestone is most likely going to be solo.
Okay.
Um, but I think like I wouldn't actually be surprised to see them have like the Plague mid.
Okay.
But as you said, he could also be support. I kind of like having the mag in a position where he can get some farm, so
Yeah.
he doesn't get like a fucking 30-minute blink or something.
If they put the Plague mid, they're going to be looking at something like a Cursed main support and maybe Magnus roaming position 4. And
Yeah,
then Lodestone's like a solo. And then they still need that damage dealer that we talked about. So they could be running something a little funky with their draft. But before we see that last pick come out, we have Tremble and Deadwood. So there is the Fa hero, the Tremble, picked up by Snooki. Going to be also uh, paired with the Lord Self-Forest. So they have a very strong dual core here. And then they pick up a Deadwood, which looks to me like will be position 3. Then they have the Kinesis and Nymphora support. So I think from top to bottom, this lineup definitely screams like a Doghouse draft. Very active heroes, heroes that can scale decently well into the mid and late game while still being very active and fighting a lot in the early and mid game. So last pick, Valkyrie. What do you think, Busk? Is Valkyrie the hero here to take on the Tremble and the Lord Self-Forest dual core?
oh, what the fuck? He hasn't he
I like
hasn't
that
picked.
response. Oh, what the
Well, the thing is,
fuck?
he hasn't picked Valk on my screen yet for some reason, but now he did.
Oh, maybe we have to sync up
Is
the
it because
replays again.
I think it's because I'm using the old UI, perhaps.
Okay, here. I tell you what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna pause here. I have 125 at the clock at the top. So we'll go. We won't go off the replay clock. Get
Right,
your replay panel to the top of the screen is 125,
right.
and then let me know when you're there, and we'll resync.
I think that's gonna work.
Okay, let's try that.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
120.
Yep. So everyone's pretty much in their fountain. They're pretty much leaving the fountain right now.
Yeah, they're loading right now for me.
Okay. Well, you can skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So
You,
I
you
got
coming down?
125 at the top, and I got 850 on the replay, but that part doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You coming
So
down?
I'll do 3, 2, 1, go, and we'll unpause on go.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's
So
see
the
how.
Valkyrie.
Yeah. Go ahead. The Valkyrie.
Um, very good synergy with the Valk mag. Not the hardest carry. I don't think Valk screams like high DPS.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned you would expect them to pick a hero that can deal lots of damage, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I do not think Valkyrie necessarily. Usually, you wouldn't say like Valk is a hard damage dealer, right? You would say he's more like utility. He has the stun, and then the utility with the ulti, right?
Yep.
Not necessarily high DPS hero.
Yeah, so they're actually looking to run a defensive tri-lane with Rhapsody. Or Rhapsody, what am I saying? Valkyrie, Accursed, and Magnus. There's no Rhapsody in this game. Pardon my brain lag there. We have Kinesis and Deadwood going to the top lane, so it looks like we'll start off with 2 versus 3, and then we have Tremble versus Plague Rider. I can't say I've ever seen this matchup before.
You're not alone.
So, you know, it's interesting because Tremble, he can definitely like be like a lane bully once he gets a couple levels. But you think about Plague Rider, he's gonna have an XP advantage by denying the creep. He has a lot of nuke to kite the Tremble. He can slow him and kind of run away. It's gonna be difficult for Tremble to kind of get on top of him with the Dark Swarm early on. But then later on at level 6, it gets really interesting, I feel like, because Tremble can hold him down, but Plague can also just kind of send out the ulti. And I don't know. I don't know who wins this matchup. It's going to be very fun to see.
I think that when Trimble gets Iron Shield, he will get area lasted.
Okay. It's going to be hard for Plague to, outside of Extinguish, get the denies.
Yeah, I just don't think he has the attack damage.
Okay, that's a good assessment. I think
I have never, but yeah, as you said, I've never seen this matchup played out before, and I've never tried it. So like, maybe I'll be surprised. Who knows?
Yeah, I think Tremble will probably do just fine. He also, I believe, gets Mound Regen, so
yeah, he does.
The constant Plague harassment with the Contagion won't be like too scary for him. Nymphora and Lord Sulphurus against Lodestone. I guess Lodestone, he'll probably have a pretty tough time maybe getting last hits, but XP, I think he should be fine. This lane doesn't seem that scary for Lodestone.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna die. Like, probably not gonna die.
So top lane, we see them doing a pull already. And I guess, you know, with an Accursed in a tri-lane, it doesn't scream like the scariest kill potential. They're going to go in here with a Lava Surge and do an arrow, but again, Deadwood just kind of walks this off. And that's mainly due to the third hero not really having any kind of slow or stun or anything, so they do put some pressure on the Deadwood, but no kill just yet.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting having the Accursed in this lane. Like, do you think he maybe would be doing more bottom? Or...
You know, that's a good point you bring up, because he probably would, I think, actually synergizing quite well with the Lodestone. They can, you know, put that shield on him, and then the head smash kind of doesn't deal as much return damage back to the Lodestone while simultaneously blowing up the shield. It's a pretty nifty combo, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah.
But they decide not to do that. They want to... Looks like get really good farm on the Valkyrie to start things off. And speaking of her, she might be getting a Bloodlust kill here on the Deadwood. We'll see how this one goes. Looks like a curse with the Cauterize nuke takes him out. Kinesis now could be in some trouble. He does have that Lava Surge though. But we have Magnus. He's trying to get mana there. He forces Kinesis to remove it, and that ends up causing his life. So it is a double tap for, of all heroes, the Accursed picks up the double tap.
I mean, I think as long as they're getting kills up here, then he can stay. I wasn't expecting them to get kills though. Also, because the Kinesis has to get away with the max stun, right?
Yeah. No, I agree completely with you. I didn't feel like they would actually be getting double taps up here this early on, but great job from them, and they get some more farm on their support. Cursed, top farmer in the game, with the Bloodlust skill and a second one to follow it.
Let's see, how is Fall doing mid? 250 against 260, very even.
Yeah, they both are on 11 creep kills, but Plague Rider with 6 denies. And that's just kind of natural based due to the hero. But we see Fa, he's manning up on the Plague there. He puts some good pressure. Continues to try to last hit. Bottom lane, they're fighting over the neutral creeps here. Duder's just hitting the Lodestone over and over. He's saying you're gonna at least get punished for getting these creeps. Of course, has some regen maybe.
I think Falk would actually have killed Plague Rider there if he didn't aggro the tower. I don't know if you saw that.
So you skipped over the pause there, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, excellent. Good news.
Something works. Nice. Yep. Oh, he bought the, what is it called? Nihil Crystal?
Nihil Crystal, yeah.
I've never bought that item.
Magma's actually getting behind the Tremble here. We'll see if he can avoid this Lava Surge. It is only a level 1 Lava Surge and does not have Marchers. Oh, but there's the slow! They actually got in range and he wasn't needed. So the nuke damage from Plague Rider was just enough to catch the Tremble there. And he falls for the first time. That's going to give a little bit of a lead over to the Plague Rider now. Bumps himself up to 370 gold per minute. A lot of pressure from the Sulfuras down in bot lane. The nukes there from Lord.
Yeah, I guess that's why
Forcing
he
him
bought
back.
the Nihil Crystal, right? 40 health and 20 mana over 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's an interesting item. It got added into the game, I want to say like half a year ago or maybe even a year ago. Because it builds into, I believe, the Adib's Cloak. Undying comes out. I don't think that's going to be enough damage. Oh, but he's going to... You know, I want to say that's a mistake to TP there, because even if he got to the fountain, it would not regen him. And then he allowed Nymphora to get in range for some spells. I think that was a little bit of a mistake there from the Lodestone to go for the TP.
Yeah, but I guess like you weren't expecting the nymph to be there.
That is true, yeah.
But yeah, nymph without boots running around there, you definitely don't expect that. But I agree with you. If he just kept running, he would have been fine.
Great play from Dude, though, to pursue him for the kill. Now we have level 6 on the Plague. Currently has no mana, but again, Extinguish. Might have mana very soon. We see Lodestone coming in with the Veiled Rod here. Tremble's only level 5, and with a Contagion nuke, this could be a kill. Oh, he just had the Extinguish come up, so perhaps Lodestone maybe went a little bit too early, as Tremble is getting closer to level 6. A lot of damage coming in there from the Plague Rider. Fob will TP home. He gets his ward countered. Another Ward of Revelation coming out from the Plague Rider. Decides to take out the mound there. We have not talked really too much about the top lane. Deadwood is not really getting too much farm up here. He's only on 10 creep kills, and I think that's due to the nature of the 3v2. We see the Lava Surge taken here from Kinesis. They do not go in for a kill, and again, I think for good reason. With the Accursed there, it is very difficult to go for kills here in the top lane.
Yeah, it's like, who can you really kill, right? There's the Valk with the escape, there's the Mag with the escape, and then there's the Accursed. Like, But yeah, they got the 2 kills, and then nothing really has happened since in the last 6 minutes.
So I want to ask you something. Do you think that the Nymphora needs to stay down here in the bottom lane? If she were to rotate top, do you think that they could get anything accomplished up here with the tri-lane? Or do you think they really just want to prioritize getting Nymph to level 6 so they can start moving around? So right now it looks like they're doing the latter.
Yeah, so I think that it's kind of hard to get kills against the Curse side, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
And also Nymph, you kind of want the level 6, right?
Yeah, so right now they got 1 stack for Lord Sulfuras. He takes it out. He's already level 8. So Nikki's up to 500 gold per minute here, right at about the 7-minute mark. So he's on 70 creep kills already. He's farming very, very well.
Yeah, he just took 2 triples. No, he didn't actually finish. Oh yeah, I think he took 2 triples, right?
I don't think that they were triples. I think it was just one hard camp was stacked. But either way,
Hard camp was tripled at least, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Either way, he's doing very, very well here. Now, Accursed has rotated bottom, so they have decided to shy away from their own tri-lane up in the top lane. Trying to get Lodestone his level 6. And
What do you think about double Soul Scream Ring? Pick up on Valk.
oh, that is interesting. I guess he wants the early stats. It's not something we usually see. Now, you can build one of those into a Brass Knuckles. I don't know if you would want to... Oh, maybe he will go the Nullfire Blade, and then he will be using them in the end.
Oh, actually, you're right. Brass Knuckle plus Nullfire Blade. That actually, those are 2 good items on Valk. I like that.
I had to actually look at what Soul Screaming built into, because the only thing that came to my mind was the Knuckles. Mid lane, Tremble, he takes some pressure, but there was no Plague Carrier from the Plague, so 30 more seconds on that cooldown. But again, they keep up the pressure on Tremble, and he's really felt the aggression, I feel like, this game. He is sitting at only 240 gold per minute, so... But not off to his typical start here on the Tremble. We've seen him take over games with this hero. I've even seen him, I think at like 8 minutes or 9 minutes, just be like 9-0 and force out preemptive CC votes from some teams. So this is a hero that he is very, very scary on when he has a good time.
Now, you play a lot of Accursed, right? So, I have never seen Accursed maxing shield over Q. Am I bad? Or... Oh, top.
I usually max cauterize as well, because the You typically don't get the shield more than once in a fight, and the Q can be used both to heal teammates and nuke down enemies, so I kind of like the utility of Q more. We see a plague carrier coming. It's going to get some good bounces here. There's a triple stun from Dude on the Nymph. He's going to use a heal. Will he be able to make it out? No, he will not. There is the nuke from the shield coming out. Lord Sulfuras is now here. He's trying to get some return kills. Has the Undying up on the Plague Rider, but I think he will survive this. He is tanky with the Bracer and the Steam Boost. Here comes a more Certissima nuke. They take out the Magnus. Shadowstorm connects onto the Kinesis. He needs one more auto attack. He does get it, but there's the heal from the Meta Battery. And they turn it around. They kill the Lodestone as well, and now Snooki is not done, but there's the team support coming in from the Accursed. Can they keep Valkyrie alive? It looks like they will for now. He will get picked off by the nuke there, and Snooki all of a sudden gets a hat trick. Will he make it a quad kill? Deadwood is here, and he will. The quad kill comes in from Snooki, so a huge fight coming in from Doghouse, and all of a sudden we have Lord Sulfuras almost at 600 gold per minute. Busk, what just happened in this fight?
Wow. Yeah, Lord got like 5k damage off. I think he got like 10 Qs off, and he just got to do his thing, man.
22% hero damage already, so maybe 5k damage might not be an understatement. He is definitely sitting at very high damage. Plague Rider, the next one up there, 26. He's the top hero damage in the game right now. No surprise there, really.
Also, pretty good of him to know like he could man up there. It was kind of close at the end. I think if Valk got the arrow off from the cliff, but he got Q'd before, then maybe he would have. They maybe could have killed him, but probably not. I think that was pretty well executed.
Definitely.
And, obviously, having a 600 GPM Sulfuras this early is very difficult to play against, right?
Oh yeah, I mean he's got a light brand already. You think it's safe to say he'll be turning that into a Dawnbringer moving forward?
I mean, else the alternative is Grimoire, right? But I don't really think I've seen that too often. I know Snooki really likes the Dawnbringer, so I highly expect him to do that.
Oh, a nice kill in the top lane. It looks like they silenced the Accursed while the Willowmaker came out, so he could not get the flame consumption off, and they bursted down the Accursed. So great job from the two up there in the top lane.
Actually looking really good for Doghouse at this point. Like, they have a lot of things going for them.
Top lane, looks like double Lava Surge comes in from the Magnus. They already used the arrow there, but he's not feeling comfortable going in with the leap and the call. I think they would have killed the Kinesis there had he done that. But here comes the Lodestone rotation. The no Shadowstorm going to be used. He actually has it ready to go. So a little bit surprised. They are holding some of these cooldowns. I think maybe if they committed a little bit more, they could have perhaps gotten at least one of these two kills. But yeah, with the Willowmaker down, I'm a bit surprised Valkyrie just didn't leap in there with a call and take out the Kinesis. She did have a level 4 call as well.
Did she see the Willow?
They should definitely know that the Willowmaker was used to kill a Cursed earlier.
You know, oh, is Mac gonna reach?
Mac catches the Deadwood here. Is this enough damage though? He has the... Oh, he did not have the shield. He already used it. So they do bring down the Deadwood. We see the rotations not really happening here from Doghouse. They're pretty content with farming on both the mid and the bottom lanes. Ba has Steam Boots picked up. Yep.
I'm wondering, I don't think they have picked up the book yet. And I would like Mac to have that right now. The level 7 is so huge.
I believe that comes at 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 10 or 15. So.
Oh, I thought actually it was earlier.
I forget actually when. Maybe I can check. Oh, it's 10. Is it 10 minutes? When does
if it's 10, then it says here 10-minute refresh time. So I would assume you could buy the first one at 10 minutes, right? I'm looking in the shop.
I'm not sure. I thought it was 15.
Refreshes every 10 minutes, right? So
yeah. But that might mean 15 and 25. I actually am not sure. I think it's 15 minutes and then maybe it resets at 25.
Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah. So, you know, if he gets the tome, he would probably jump up to like level 8 or something. It seems like maybe a nice halfway mark.
7 maybe, right?
Maybe, yeah, something like 7 or 8. They have a level 11 Plague though, so he's got a lot of XP for the team as well.
Right. That would be so huge, I think. Like, you play Mag more than me, but I think the early Mag stuns feel awkward because you don't have the range, right?
Yeah, definitely. People in chat are saying 50, or a bunch of people are saying 15. I was pretty sure it was 15 as well. And I think the 10 refresh just means the second charge comes up at 25 minutes.
Okay.
So Lurtza Forest, he needs about 500 more gold for a Dawnbringer. I believe we will see him finish that. And you know, I always find it interesting that when you play a strength hero that goes Dawnbringer, you buy the strength component last. I don't know if you find that funny as well, but the Icebrand component just kind of feels like the worst one, at least, especially when for farming and mobility. That's why we see the light brand usually
definitely for farming. I think for fighting, if he was fighting, he would do the strength one.
Stasis smash top lane into Willowmaker. We saw a Cursed was there, but just wasn't enough to save him. There was just too much damage, too much lockdown, and he got taken out on the lodestone. So they burn a pair of cooldowns there. Deadwood taking a little nap there in the tower. Little victory nap.
I mean, the lead is just continuing to grow for Doghouse.
6,000 gold and 9,000 experience. Definitely a pretty large lead here for 15 minutes. We see a lot of that mainly due to Self Forest just being so far ahead of everyone.
I mean, if you look at the levels, they have level 10 Tremble, level 10 Deadwood as well. They're just really far ahead.
Plague Rider might get caught here. The follow-up is not really in range. Can he get the slows in? Now they have the Valkyrie Prism up, and that's going to cause them to fall back. It looks like they didn't have any detection. But
no reveal.
Speaking of Plague Rider, looks like he's going for Staff of the Master, and he's about to complete that. He needs about another 300 gold. Already with the Glowstone and Mighty Blade. You like the first item staff here for Plague?
I gotta be honest, I have no idea if it's good or not. I guess I've seen most people. I don't really play this hero, so I don't know.
He gets infinite bounces. I guess maybe the big thing here is that he could look to upgrade somebody pretty soon. He might just go straight into an upgrade. Is there a hero you feel he should do that for? Maybe I would probably say the Valkyrie. I guess would be the best one for his team.
Let's see.
I don't think Load, Magnus, or Curse really have that great of staff effect.
I don't think I've ever seen a staff on a Cursed.
You know,
so you can cast.
It's actually not bad if he had farm, because then he could just fight people while never being able to die. But being a support, I feel like the staff is not as good. But Valkyrie, I like the staff effect for Valkyrie quite a lot. Lets him push out waves very, very easily. Lodestone goes down bottom. Looks like they just had so much damage between the Undying and the Nymph.
I'm not sure if it's worth it to upgrade the staff this game. Like, I don't think it's like game winning the X on Valk.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll see Plague go into maybe like a portal key, Sheepstick, something like that.
Oh, I think that is much better.
And then
I'm not gonna blame him if he does the upgrade. I think it's just not.
Yeah.
Like, it's not amazing, but it's not bad, right? You know what I mean?
I think, like, after he gets a couple other items, if he wants to staff Valk, I think it's quite good. Because then Valk can just split push and do a lot of damage in fights with the arrow calling everyone. So, I think it's good, but maybe they don't need it right away. I think that's my assessment, at least. Nymph TP coming in top lane. We're about to have a fight, it looks like. Or maybe they just won't get the catch. Here comes this Lava Surge from Kinesis. Magnus going to counter with his own Lava Surge, but here comes Lord Forest and Nymphora. They do trade 1-for-1 here. Kinesis and Magnus both going down. I cannot believe that was only a 1-for-1. We had about 7 heroes up here in the top lane, but they just kind of fall back from each other in the end. What do you think about the shrunken Self Forest? He does not finish the Dawnbringer, at least for now. Opts for the early shrunken head.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, definitely a good item here.
He thinks that, I mean, he realizes if he dies, that's going to be the rubber band effect because he's 700 GPM, so he's going to get that a lot of gold.
Yeah, and
so he goes for the safe route. He is 700 GPM, so I mean, I like it. I mean, you don't want to die when you're that fun.
Going up against a Plague Rider, I think specifically with a staff, I mean that's a lot of uncontrollable damage sometimes, and it might just bounce non-stop where he's gonna just die to that alone. So it doesn't really want that threat. Wants that shrunken head to prevent some plague bounces.
Yeah, and right now the only real damage source they have a help on is magic, right? Like they have no physical damage. Then it should be the. Oh, that's actually mixed damage from the Lodestone, right? So
Plague Rider gets hit with the Grass Spear. They don't go for him, though. I was just watching Plague Rider pound auto attacks into this tower, and he just took it out. It's very funny to see a Plague Rider sieging towers. Here comes a lift on the Magnus. He gets caught out of position here, surrounded by a swarm of Doghouse players. So Magnus...
That was the first kill involvement for this game.
Really? Oh, wow. I did not notice that, actually. It is not... It's not very typical of Fa. He is a very active player who typically likes to be getting kills non-stop, so...
I think it was a difficult game for him.
Yeah, he's definitely been kind of forced more
He was getting
ganked
game. Mid, right? And he wasn't really getting ganks from his team, right? So,
And not only that, but we saw him go for kills, he just wasn't able to get them. So he was definitely trying this game to get some kills. Now we have a Congor, very aggressive Congor. The arrow's going to connect onto Congor, but here comes the Prism. 2 Word of Revelations, those are both Hellborn's wards. Tremble goes in, here comes the Shadow Storm. I believe it might have hit on the Lord Self-Force. Will they be able to bring him down? He pops the Shrunken. It's going to mitigate some of these bounces, but it's bouncing still between Tremble and Lord. And Tremble, will he be able to hold his ground? He will not. He does fall here. Now the Shrunken has worn off from Lord Self-Force. He looks like he wants to go back in. Lodestone picks up a double damage. Here comes the arrow. It connects onto Snooki and they will bring him down. So will Lodestone have sacrificed himself here? It looks like he does to bring down the raid boss. But meanwhile, Deadwood picks up a double kill. They do lose the Kinesis. And Valkyrie, she's now all alone as the Cursed and Plague Rider still in the base. And this Congor is very low, Busk. I don't know. We're going to see a buyback coming out here from Snooki, as well as from a Curse. So he did fall in this fight as well. There's going to be a Congor clasher. I think eventually Plague Rider, he did upgrade the staff. He's gonna fall here. And it was to the Valkyrie, so she does have that staff effect. Lord Self-Force is gonna get stunned up here by the Magnus, a 2-man stun from the Deadwood as they were fighting over the wards here. But now Magnus without a Lava Surge, will they be able to bring him down? Oh, there's the heals coming in from a Curse. They're diving deep for this kill, and now Deadwood is out of position. Will they be able to bring him down? As now Doghouse is in the retreat, and Lord Self-Force and Tremble, if anything, they're just trying to secure this Congor kill. So Deadwood trying to buy the spacer. Meanwhile, in the background, Lodestone comes in. They take out the Self-Force again. Congor goes down to Backdoor Protocol. And what a fight coming in from the Hellborn side. As now Nymphora, will he get the TP stopped? He will not. He lands it at the base. But the big picture is Backdoor Protocol holds the Congor fight with the 1 buyback on a Cursed. And they take it out. They sniped it out, I believe, with the Magnus. So they get the Kong buff as well. Deadwood. It's not done, Bust. Deadwood takes out the Magnus down here as well. So the back and forth continues.
I don't know what I'm watching. This is insane. There are so many sequences that whoa. Like, okay, let's start. So you remember the Ancients before Snooki used the first buyback? The Plague ulti was bouncing between Tremble and the Self-Force. And Snooki activates BKB correctly, but then he actually runs over to 4, making 4 take like
an extra bounce or 2,
Yeah, that did 2 or 3 extra bounces. That's like, how much is that?
A lot. It's like 370 magic per bounce minus reduction. It adds up to a lot. We'll say like 500 damage or so maybe.
Yeah, so almost half Tremble's health just from stutter stepping close to a teammate, not realizing you had to. That's how it began, right? And then I guess the buyback, because they're afraid they will take the Kong, and then just taking like 1,000 damage from Kong and then dying to a Lodestone. Like, oof.
Definitely a big momentum swing. And you know what we also failed to mention was Tremble also bought back in that fight. So they used 2 buybacks from Doghouse. And they ultimately did not get what they were looking for, which was that Congor kill.
Yeah. But also, like, they have had this Ward of Sight. I don't know if you're looking. The one at the Ancients from Hellborn.
Yep, right above the Ancient area.
The entire duration, and that Ward essentially allowed them to win this engagement. I don't think they would have any chance if they didn't.
Bottom lane, punch, Undying. They throw everything at Lodestone. He is very, very sad because he is now going to be sent to the respawner. But a lot of cooldowns used there for that kill. And yeah, I do agree with you. That Word of Sight was very, very key to their success there at that Kong fight. Definitely.
If Doghouse D-Watch there, there's no way they don't get that Kong, I think.
Definitely an overlooked ward for sure. What do you think about Dude going for the staff here on Nymphora? He's got 3 parts to it. and he already has 800 gold. How does dude find the farm? 280 gold per minute on the Nymphora, almost as a staff at 25 minutes. I don't know how this stuff happens.
He's second. I mean, he's position 4, right? So he's not warding. I guess that's why. But
I think so.
And then he also has the Grave Locket upgrade with Sulfuris taking all these creeps in the jungle, so you get tons of gold from that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why.
So he's gonna have it in another 130 gold.
This game is looking like more even, way more even now, which is crazy to think about. Also, Valk picked up a Nullstone against the. I'm guessing it's the grip from Tremble, right?
Yeah, I guess a lot of stuff really. You got Stasis Smash, you got Falcon Punch from Deadwood, Ensnare from Tremble, and Dying. I mean, there's just so many good spells you could block, and they're all really spells you don't want to whiff on a Nullstone. But do you think that there's too many for it to be? Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it's good against Deadwood because he just throws the W first, right?
Yeah.
Same with the Kinesis. You can dodge steal and then all. I mean, but I think the Tremble, it's very annoying to play Tremble
into a Nullstone.
Like a Nullstone because how do you catch, right? And
yeah,
then
definitely.
At the point he's probably gonna go blink Hellflower on Tremble, and then he has to choose: do I use the Hellflower here? Or do I use my ulti? Like what do I proc the Nullstone with? Right?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think the Nullstone's more annoying for the Tremble for sure. Do you think we'll see like a Geometer's Bane as well in the Valkyrie? He does go the Null Fireblade, which I think is very good, especially against like the Lord Sulfuris, just because he's kind of more of like a caster kind of carry. Being able to kite him and burn his mana is very, very good. But do you think we'll see like a Geometer's Bane with the Nullfire, and then he can like purge off the Tremble root and just have like extra mana combustion, or do you think he'll go something else than a Geobane?
I think Geo is like the optimal route to go here.
Okay.
It synergizes very well with your Nullfire Blade as well.
Yeah.
So it's just really great.
I definitely like the Nullfire.
He becomes very
Blade.
slippery, right? With both Geo and Nullstone, like he can't really die.
Yeah.
Really difficult.
He won't be like outputting tons of damage, but he'll be very very annoying and hard to kill, while still kind of poking in damage. Top lane looks like Kinesis goes down. So what do you think about a Deeves Cloak on a Lodestone? That item is, to me, always like very, I don't want to say hit or miss, it's almost more of a miss for me. I feel like, you know, on a hero like Lodestone, I feel like, do you really care about dying so much? Isn't your job kind of just to go in Shatterstorm and you don't really care necessarily?
Yeah.
You just want to deal as much damage as possible. So even going something like a Codex or a Sheepstick, something like that, or an early post haste. Like we see Zane, who plays a lot of Lodestone, he likes to go the early post haste. Some players like to go an early Codex to buff up their damage output. I just find the Deeves Cloak to be rather odd. I don't know if you agree with that or not. Like, what's your thoughts on the cloak?
You were spot on, I think.
Okay.
I think I 100% agree.
Okay. I also just don't really see this item like hardly ever.
Nah, I think it's very niche.
Yeah.
Very, very few situations where it's actually worth it, and few heroes. I think Lodestone probably not one of those heroes that it's worth it on ever, probably.
By the way, did we talk about Deadwood has a Hellflower? This guy has been just quietly getting his farm as well. He's all of a sudden 360 gold per minute.
I'm wondering why Deadwood. Oh, maybe they can. They can still kill him with their Deeps, right? They can.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they could. But I mean, maybe they didn't realize that he was a little close. They don't see the Valkyrie. He's just farming jungle. They do actually, because they have a ward on him, so they do see him.
I do like the Hellflower against somebody like a Plague Rider, who, if you kind of just take him out of the fight for a few seconds, he's kind of just sitting there, kind of waiting. But now again, they do have a curse, so if a curse is on top of these Hellflowers, he can remove that right away. It is still very tough to do. I wouldn't say like having a Hellflower or even a Sheepstick is still bad going up against a curse, but you do always run that threat of it being able to be purged right away.
So like the alternative route would be maybe either Stone Spirit or or
Bulwark or
going on the
something.
Plague top, I think.
Magnus might get caught. They see him hitting the mound, but I think they wanted the Plague Rider. They were definitely turning their attention toward the Plague. Oh, here comes a Prism though. Deadwood, he's charging in, but he doesn't see anyone, so they're not gonna get the jump they were looking for. So I think they could have taken the free kill on the Magnus while he was hitting the mound, but they wanted the Plague, so they were a little bit greedy. Unfortunately, not going to get what they were looking for. Now, Nymphora, the fight is going to connect here as the Valkyrie arrow lines up. They do get the Magnus Lava Surge onto the Kinesis as well. but I think he'll be too slippery. Meanwhile, in the background, Deadwood gets taken out. Plague Rider and Valkyrie causing issues for him. So they do lose 2 players, and they don't get that kill that they were initially looking for with the Nymph port in the first place. Mid lane and Snare comes out on the Lodestone. Mass TPs are happening as the Shadow Storm is being channeled. There's the damage reduction, and they couldn't bring him down. The Undying will eventually take him down, but here comes the lift from Kinesis on the Magnus as they are trying to bring down Tremble. Will they use the play carry? It looks like they did, and Tremble will fall. They do have a buyback here on the Nymphora, but no Nymph port for 10 more seconds, so they could not get there to kind of aid the Tremble in time. And you saw Busk, the Shadow Storm damage reduction. They took so long to kill the Lodestone. The team support got there in time to bring down the Tremble.
Yeah, that's true. Like you can, it's kind of overlooked by a lot of people, I think, but the defensive purpose of the Lord ulti is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you almost never think about channeling Shadow Storm to kind of just soak damage.
Exactly.
But when it's charging up, you become really tanky for those 5 seconds, and then ultimately you just blow yourself up to take all kinds of damage. But he used it very, very smart there. Avoided a lot of extra damage. Eventually did fall to the Undying, but it bought a lot of time. So Tremble, he's got... Oh yeah, go ahead.
Nymphora staff, I'm just reading on it right here. Just, I'm thinking like, when would you wanna port all 4 of your teammates instead of just 3? I can't really think of a lot of scenarios, to be honest. Like,
so the bonuses as well of the Nymph port, it lowered, I believe it lowers the channel time a bit, and then when he lands the port, it puts a heal pod down as well as the stun in like 4 directions. So
but is that good? Like, I'm
it's
thinking
very hard to use well. Now they Willowmaker up the Accursed there with the Hellflower. Will this come at a cost? It looks like Deadwood might sacrifice himself. Here comes the heal pod from Nymphora. They have the Valkyrie lifted up. There's no Accursed behind him now. But Valkyrie, she's just a little too slippery. She gets the leap off down the cliff, and Plague Rider's going to go for the TP on out. The arrow connects onto Snooki. Oh, he did not get his shrunken head off, but he's going to be fine nonetheless. He's just a little too tanky. Forcing Backdoor Protocol back as the whole team support is here for Doghouse, and they are going to bring down the Lodestone as well. 3 for 1 as Deadwood was the sacrifice here. Busk, a big fight coming in from Doghouse. Will we see a base push here, or will they? Looks like they want the Congor.
Yeah, I guess they realized that Doghouse have 2 Congor buffs, and they wanna. Oh wait, yeah. So wait, is this the? Oh wait, I can't spoil anything. Okay, I just got a flashback because I actually already seen this game.
Okay, let's not spoil it for the viewers.
So 3 Congor buffs right now, looking pretty good.
Okay, so three Congor buffs for Legion, and we have 1 for Hellborn. And those Congor buffs definitely add up over time, the more and more that you get. We're gonna see the base tower broken here. Now they have no Decimator, so they did not get themselves a token here. Demonic Breastplate on Lord Sulfuras, by the way. That's a huge item for these base sieges. Plague Rider, he's charging and he's trying to get the catch with the, what's that spell called? The Earth Blight. Doesn't land it. Magnus, he's trying to get the catch here as well on the Kinesis, both being very slippery. Arrow just barely misses, but there's the Purge from the Nullfire Blade, slowing up Nymphora. They do bring down the 1 guy there. So they got the tower and the melee racks. Ultimately lost their Nymphora. I do not think Doghouse is going to be too sad with that, but the fight is not over. We have the Willowmaker. They take out the Plague Rider. He did not get the carrier off, and now Deadwood, he is going to maybe fall here to the Shatter Storm. He does go down, and Snooki has his Shrunken Head activated on the Sulfuras. He's trying to chase them down with that Dawnbringer. Valkyrie is getting the support from Accursed. Here comes the Lava Surge, and now Tremble trying to get in range for some assistance, but he will go down on the Lord Sulfuras, and now Tremble is all of a sudden finding himself in a 4 versus 1. He pops the Shrunken, but I don't think that's going to work out for Fall. He manned up for the return kill. 50 life. Accursed does survive, so it does end up being a 4 for 1. You know, it was looking good initially, but I want to say the decision there to fight from Doghouse might have not been the wisest of choices there.
Yeah, and actually, this Valk is starting to deal some damage, even with the very defensive initial build, I would say. Like the amount of auto attacks he's pounding in, it's rough to deal with, especially when your BKB runs out.
So he is actually the top damage dealer in the game. He's surpassed Plague Rider now.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not surprised because he's getting so many hits off in these fights.
Yeah, and they're
I feel like
definitely Doghouse is definitely prioritizing focusing the Plague Rider down. We saw there he did not get his carrier off in the fight, and that's a huge damage reduction from Hellborn's from their lineup. So Nymphor coming in bottom lane near the Valkyrie. I don't know if he heard that being channeled, but we'll see if they can catch him. It looks like Valk's just a little too slippery.
yeah, that's a difficult kill, I would say.
So yeah, the Nymph staff. I feel like this is a very hard thing to kind of take advantage of. You get the stun and the in all directions, the pod, as well as everyone gets maned, I think, when you land. It looks like I won't have time to talk about it here. Deadwood, he's going to be on the run. A lift comes out on the Accursed. He might get his flame consumption off. No, he does not. He gets fully locked down. Couldn't get it off. He goes down. Magnus has the Undying on him. He stuns into the trees. But without a TP, I don't believe he has a TP on him. So it's just a matter of time. He gets walked down by the Salforus. And what's going on over here? The Valkyrie Prism might catch them off guard. Shrunken activated by the Tremble as the Plague Carrier is bouncing between the neutrals, but he did have that Shrunken on, so he will be just fine. They're charging in. Will they get the catch? I don't believe they will. Portal Key, 6 more seconds on the Kinesis. He has Rocket Drill. Not going to be able to chase here. Excuse me there. Deadwood. Valkyrie going to do some jukes here. Valkyrie going to be fine.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. So Plague ulti without Staff of the Master, it's limited to 10 bounces, right?
I believe it's 10, yeah. It has a cap. And then once he's upgraded, he gets infinite bounces. As long as there's targets for it to bounce between. Willowmaker, Hellflower, Plague Rider is no more. I caught that one. I actually caught a kill on camera. He pretty much, he almost one-shot him. He got a few auto attacks in there. And while this is going on, we got Congor. This is what, Congor number 4 being attempted here, or buff number 4.
It's attempt number 5, but it's gonna
attempt
be
number 5, but should be buff number 4.
So I'm just thinking like about this Plague Carrier thing.
Yep.
How often is it actually gonna bounce more than 10 times?
That's a really good question, because that's ultimately the difference between buying this item and not. Because it doesn't get cooldown reduction. It only gets, I believe... actually, no, I think it gets damage bonus too, right? So damage...
Oh, does it? Okay, well, that is a huge deal, I think, if it does.
I think it gets damage bonus as well. I'm so bad at doing tooltips.
Okay, let me see if I can find the hero decks.
I believe it also ups damage as well as makes
bounces
infinite.
With 460 magic damage at level 16 without the Aghanims, and he has it, and it's still 460.
Oh, maybe it doesn't up the damage then. I'm probably wrong. I'm usually wrong about these things. What's going on top lane? They take out the tower. We're just sitting here trying to figure out how staff effects work. We have Nymph staff and Plague staff.
Is it really worth it? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, because I think the last 2 fights, there's definitely not been 10 bounces, right? Especially not when he did it on the medium camp on 4.
I will say though, it is very nice to be able to upgrade your teammate, as well as I think you can use it on like ancients and stuff. Now again, you don't really need the more than 10 bounces for ancients, so that's not really a good argument. But we have Tremble porting in behind the Hellborn team here. Here comes the Nymport as well. It ports in solo Nymphora. They're going to get the Stasis Smash on the Magnus, but there's the Accursed Shield removing it right away. Trunkenhead activated by the Tremble, and there's the Flame Consumption from Accursed. Will they be able to bring down this Magnus, who does have a Storm Spirit, but he did have it on cooldown for 7 more seconds, so he will go down. They also take out the Accursed with the Hellflower from Deadwood, so that is 2 kills for Doghouse. It is now a 5 versus 3, and only Valkyrie has buyback. She's currently alive. So we'll see what Doghouse decides to do here. If they decide to force any base objective, or if they just continue to farm with these 2 kills. But yeah, is there any items we haven't really talked about? Maybe Bob picked up a portal key. Yeah, Demonic was picked up. He's got 5,000 gold, by the way, on the Sulforest. So what do you think he should go next item?
Resto or Hex.
Okay.
He needs both.
Boom, he picks up a Hex, so...
and then the last item's going to be Resto.
I think that's very reasonable. He's got the vestment slot to replace with a restoration stone.
Yeah, and then he's gonna pick up the DD here.
Do you think it's okay that he doesn't go for something like a portal key with the sheep and he just goes sheep and he just runs in sheeps? It's probably still okay, I guess.
I think with a blink on both keen aces with a max stun potentially, or the load drill, and then blink on Deadwood and blink on 4, I think he doesn't really need it this game too.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good assessment. I think he can go bigger items. Now, I will say, having the sheepstick, this will kind of hurt his carry presence a bit, as he's kind of playing that position 1 role this game.
But the enemy team have a solo Valve carry, so I think it's all good. I think this is the best item build he could go.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be just fine as well. Now, you know, alternatively, he could go for items like... I actually don't know. Would like a Ganjuro be out of the question, or like... I guess he wouldn't want a Frostfield plate and a Demonic. We've sometimes seen him go Heart on Lord Sulfuras, but again, I don't really see a reason for needing something like a Heart this game.
He has 3k health, right? So he doesn't, and 30 ammo, he doesn't really,
yeah.
25 ammo, I don't think he needs to be more tanky.
Yeah.
Even the Resto is gonna actually make him a lot more tanky with the double shrunken, double left tab, everything.
I've always liked the idea of Roof Shards on Sulfuras, although we really never see that, because I believe you can crit. You can crit on your life tap, so you get 100% lifesteal with life tap for that 1 hit. But it's really hard to do that. I just
it's
really...
100 damage. It's just 100 damage, so it's not that much.
But it converts your whole attack into 100% lifesteal. So if you crit, like you could like lifesteal like 1,000 HP or something. It's super cool, but we never see it.
Yeah.
I know it's too greedy, but it's something cool that I just want to see, but I know we won't see.
Oh my god, yeah, I get it. Okay, so the Valk... Oh, Valk picked up a Rift Shot. So
they caught the Lodestone. Now he has Shrunken Head. He's going to activate it after getting pulled down to the ground from that smash. Nymphora eats a full Magmus Eruption. She goes down. Magmus gets counter Sheepstick and goes down. We have Lodestone. He wants to go back in with the Shatterstorm. Now there's 2 Shrunkens, but the Shatterstorm still does connect. And we see Plague Rider. He does have his carrier on cooldown for 40 more seconds. He's on the uphill. I believe he will fall here. He does go down. He has a buyback. Deadwood currently going down to the bottom lane. It looks like this fight was won by Doghouse. 2 for 1, I believe. He took out the...
I hate to be that guy, but the hero targeting choice from Valkyrie, that fight...
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't really watch it, so let me know what he did.
Do I need to say more?
Did he attack creeps? I don't know.
He attacked 4 times. He kept attacking the Void Talisman like 4 or 5 times. And then he ran after Kinesis, who got away with the like Lodestone drill, and I hate to. I don't want to flame people, but less than optimal. Let's just call it that. And it's a really big deal when you are the he's the only physical damage on his team. So if he's not hitting the right target, they're gonna lose the fight.
Yeah, it sounds like that could have been a big part to why they did not do very well in this fight. Now we have a Nymphor. Oh, they actually stunned the Occult. Wow, that Zeal stun range is crazy. They caught the Magmus as well. They burst him down. He didn't get anything off in this fight, and they're gonna secure the melee rack. So it actually was the ranged racks they took out earlier. I think I said it was melee. They now have the melee racks.
This Nymph Staff is actually gonna work. He might be proving me wrong.
I can't believe. So he ported in the cliff and hit with the stun the Magmus who was sitting in the trees. That's actually crazy. Here we see the play carry. Oh no, with the Shrunken. Oh no, it's bouncing between the Kinesis and the Lord Sulfuras. It takes out the Kinesis, but Sulfuras had the Shrunken, so luckily he didn't die as well. Chipstick happens on the Valkyrie. They broke that Nullstone, but he's holding his ground. He is going to be just fine. The arrow does miss, and they took out both the Lord Sulfuras and the Deadwood. And that was a pretty good hold nonetheless from the side of B-Pro. Now they did lose the melee racks, but a pretty good fight there going their way.
Okay, so you will be surprised, but I was so nerdy that I counted the amount of bounces from Plague Ulti that fight.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, tell me, how many bounces did it do?
I may have counted 1 or 2 wrong, but my estimate is between 19 and 20 bounces.
Oh my god. Okay, that's a double play carrier without staff then. Okay, that's worth it.
High value this fight, without a doubt.
High value Plague Ulti in this fight. I like it though, that's good. That's a good assessment of the worthiness of this item.
Yeah, I think it's good. I just had to see like a fight pin out because I haven't really seen a fight yet. I don't think other than this one where it was really high value.
So Tremble has 4,000 gold. We typically see Fog go for the Hellflower. Do you think
He actually
he'll?
doesn't have a Hellflower yet.
Do you think he will still go that route, or is there another item you could potentially see him go for? I do think we'll see him sell the power supply here, because he's going to base right now.
He needs Hellflower. Like,
there it is. So he sticks to his bread and butter item build. I want to say he does almost this exact same build most of his Tremble games. So he really likes it.
I think you need the Hellflower. You can't really pick up heroes.
Yeah. Falcon Punch! Oh, there's the Deep Skull coming in. And there's the Shrunken, but it's not gonna matter. He still falls. So despite having double defensive items on the lodestone, it doesn't save his life.
BKB at Deep's Cloak. I've never seen this on a lodestone.
It just feels weird to see a lodestone buying defensive items, right? Because
okay, so he was dead either way there, right? So wouldn't you rather have like a hex or something?
Yeah,
like hex post haste.
Yep, I think so. Now again, he would have taken a lot more Willowmaker damage if the cloak wasn't there. But the Shrunken, I think the argument is having the Shrunken and the cloak. Oh, look at the damage coming in from Valkyrie. This is a Rift Shards level 4. She's pounding in the right clicks. Nymph is kind of keeping him in place for a minute. He uses the Void. He's kind of baiting time for his team to get here. There's the Sheepstick, but the lift, it was broken immediately from Kinesis. Will that be the difference maker in the end as the Undying is put on the Valkyrie? There's the log throw, the smackdown on top, the Bloodbath coming out for the Deadwood as he picks off almost 1,000 gold here. Now he's sitting on 4,000 gold himself. And Valkyrie actually doesn't have a buyback busk. She spent the majority of her gold on that Rift Shards level 4. Oh, yeah, Deadwood just really bought his own staff. I don't know about that pickup. I think the staff on Deadwood might not be worth it. What are your impressions here?
So it's just like the most better cooldown, and then the strength sap duration is increased to 30 seconds instead of 7.
Yeah.
So who has high strength on their team? What would you rather have him buy?
Yeah, I guess that's the question, right? Well, they don't need a demonic, which is a usual item for him. I am a little bit surprised he didn't go for the Lex. We almost always see Lex Talionis on Deadwood. He already has a disable, so he could go for something like a Shrunken and a Resto. I think.
Yeah, so the BKB, right? That would be the alternative, I think. But...
I think Shrunken Head against the Plague Rider and whatnot, and then maybe. I mean, he does have a Hellflower, right? So he can right click decently well. If he has immunity, I guess that's the ultimate question, right? You only want to buy the Shrunken if you plan to be right clicking.
Yeah, unless you can get out and then get in again. Like
he's gonna go for the solo kill here. He misses the root though. He has to be careful. There's a lot of people in the area. They might look for him. Magnus goes in, tries to get the surge, but Deadwood was already out of there just in time.
They're
gonna take out the Congor. Here comes the Nymph TP. Oh, they're gonna see the Zeal Stun. It actually hits the Plague Rider. There's the lift coming in from Kinesis, but there's the shield from Accursed removing it. Double line stun coming in from the Kinesis with the Lava Surge. And now Trembles here. He pops the Shrunken and the Ensnare. They're gonna take down Snark on the Plague Rider, and now they're also locking down the Accursed with the Hellflower. Do they have the vision though, as he is currently dusted up? Will he look to remove that soon? No, he gets Zeal stunned up by the Nymphora, and Accursed. Undying is put on him. He has the the Flame Consumption, but with the Undying, he does not heal from that ultimate, so it just pauses his health at that set value of 825.
Did you see the combo with the Blink Dagger plus staff ulti on Nymph?
Oh, does he?
That's crazy. I didn't think about that.
Does he actually get to drag the Zeal Stun, or?
Yeah, exactly. So you drag 4 Zeal Stuns after you.
What the heck?
So I completely.
I would have to rewatch this.
Right? Because
I've never seen that before.
I didn't know about this mechanic, so that's why I was skeptical at first. But I am 100% convinced by Dude that this is legit. I think it's very good.
So he ports into the trees, and then he PKs into someone, and it drags the ultimate stun? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's what
happens. I did not know that.
I just saw that fight.
That's actually a crazy mechanic. Now he tanks an arrow here, but That's whatever. They're not looking to take this fight anyway.
They have 7 Congor buffs right now that amounts to 700 HP and
Oh my
350
god.
mana.
7
That's
stacks
crazy.
of damage on Deadwood, so he's getting 28% bonus damage plus the 15% damage of Hellflower. So his Willowmaker on one guy just does obscene amounts of damage. Middle lane, we have a lift from Kinesis on the Magmus. This Magmus, I think, will go down here. Caught out all by himself. You know, Busk, I might have a new Nymphora build when I play this hero next time. This just sounds really, really intriguing to me.
I like it.
I can't
I mean,
believe
he's
Han is shutting down in
well.
1 month, and I did not know about this. Oh, he didn't blink there, so I didn't get to see it. Or maybe he did and I'm just blind. But they kill the Lodestone, so either way. He ports everyone up here. They have a token on Fa, by the way. 2 more minutes. Safe to say they're going to want to try to get the top lane Raxers. They're all running down top. Hellborn currently has to deal with the pushed up lane in the bottom lane, having that full set of racks down there. And Valkyrie's doing her best to split push. I believe she has a buyback. She's sitting on almost 2,500 gold. So they are going to need to defend this base the best they can here, as their token Tremble leading the way. There comes the glyph. See a heal pod come down from Nymphora to heal up Tremble. He's happy to tank this towers. He's got the token. He's going for the racks now. Look at the damage coming in on the racks. This is without a damage buff, just 7 stat buffs on the Tremble. He's going to eat a Shadow Storm here. Pops the Shrunken counter. Sheepstick comes in on the Lodestone, but there's the Fire Shield from a Curse, removing it, and Tremble will go down and respawns with the token. And they did get the melee Rax. I cannot believe how fast that Rax fell, Busk, to the Tremble.
And look, 7,500 gold on Sephoris. I mean, this is just double Rax and 6 slot itself.
So he should probably give
really,
that
really
to
hard.
somebody. Yep.
I think they're looking they are in an extremely good position this game. Like, you have 7 Conquer buffs, you have double Hex.
Oh, Mass Veiled Rots. They actually hit an arrow on the Deadwood. I missed that. He got stunned up in the tree. That's a great arrow coming in from Valkyrie, setting off that pickoff. But yeah,
I think it's also a big. So does he have buyback on Deadwood? He doesn't. He doesn't have money.
Yeah, so we'll see if they look to take an engagement now, being down.
But I think
player.
also the fact that they have the bottom and the top racks is kind of big, because that's very difficult to depush against, right? It's very annoying. You have to move very far.
Yeah, it's actually harder to deal with than if the mid lane had been Rexed, because, like
Much
you said,
harder.
they have to move between opposite ends of the map. Now we have smoked up Lord Sulfuras in the base here. He gets the Sheepstick on the Lodestone. Does have the Shrunken and the Cloak. He gets lifted. He's going to live for now. Shrunken is activated, the second Shrunken from Lord Sulfuras. He's going to go for the TP on out, and he will be successful. Magmus got the second Undying. I think he's going to fall in the well. He does. But Lodestone, I guess the Cloak actually saved him there. He tanked that whole first wave of Lord Sulfuras spells. It looks like they counter-killed the Kinesis. Now, Deadwood, I believe he was already dead. Am I correct? Or... He was dead from earlier, right? So he's...
so I think that was Snooky's plan. Was actually, he just got buyback now.
Oh, Tremble blinks into the base. He wants the ranged Rax. He might get it, actually. Oh, does Fa die for this? Oh my god, he's sacrificed. He does not have a buyback. 100 seconds.
Oh, fuck.
Tremble is dead for a ranged Rax. Is this going to hurt them? Or will...
That is not worth it. What the hell is he thinking?
So Fa did not get his Shrunken head off, and maybe he was not expecting to get sheep there.
But he wouldn't get out anyways. Like, I don't know. I think there's no way he would get out.
A very greedy decision there from Tremble.
Maybe with buyback. I mean, but without buyback, I just don't see this play ever being good.
So the question now, no, I definitely agree. We're in the 50+ minute mark now. Not having buyback is going to be a crucial time period, and they might also lose the Nymphora, who got arrowed here. Bpro finds themselves a second kill now. We'll see what they can do with this. Now they still have an outer tower bottom.
What's going on? Like, what's going on?
I don't know.
This is gonna be Rex, I think.
We could see Sulfuras break the Ghost Marchers for post haste. He's got a lot of gold here. Only has 1 buyback remaining. We'll see if Snooki decides to do that or not. I might want the Ghost Marchers for now. But Bpro, they're slowly kind of getting themselves in the mid lane. They're not really fully committed because they still have to defend the side lane. So they have Lodestone up in the top lane, Magnus down in the bot lane, and we're going to see Deadwood respawn. Tremble's up in 20 seconds, so ultimately they weren't really able to punish this greed from Fall where he sacrificed himself for that Rex.
So actually, they don't lose anything from the Tremble without buyback. So that's the thing also. Like Hellbone obviously does not know that Fall does not have a buyback. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a big part of it. Like when you decide, do you push, do you not push?
Valkyrie's got a wing bow. I think that's a new item for her. She decides to go all in, has no buyback. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's fine to go all in being down 2 Raxes? They kind of just need the damage, and if she dies, then the game will probably conclude regardless? Or do you feel in this position you always need to have buyback on the position 1?
So I think that they're 2 racks down, and she's the only physical damage they have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she buys out, and they have a curse. They have 2 storm spirits. I think definitely you don't save buyback here. You buy out.
I think it's fine. I think I completely agree. They just need every item they can at this point.
Yes.
Especially being down the 2 Raxes. So they're not gonna make any uphill climb without kind of using everything that they have at their disposal.
Right. She's like the fact that she's the only physical presence on their team. Also, like she just needs to be 6-slotted for them to have any kind of chance to deal damage to anything.
Where's the post? They Forest going top. Maybe wants to try to pick off the Magnus here. So Zuki does go for the post haste. He's more or less 6-slotted at this point, pending if he wants to swap any items out for anything. But his items look pretty decent, I would say. Maybe the only difference is I would have maybe, at this point in the game, maybe rather had the Deadwood pick up the Demonic, but that's kind of a lot of item swapping around to do now that we are in the late game.
This is the 8th Congor buff coming out.
Oh, that arrow actually almost took the Congor kill. That would have been something. That was really close, actually. I don't know if it would have maybe missed still, like by just like a fraction of a frame. Tremble's up in the top lane. So you can tell that Doghouse is trying to get these pickoffs. They're sitting on the side lanes. They have Deadwood in the trees bottom, Tremble in the trees top. They have a great team for this. But they could at the same time also misplay if they kind of walk into too many heroes. Now Deadwood, he gets spotted out, I think, by the Arcane Bomb. Oh, they actually catch him. Here comes the Nymport. How many people are coming into this Nymport is the question. Only Lord Sulfuras. Kinesis and Tremble did not come into this port. Zuki has to TP on out. It looks like Nymphora, does he have his normal TP? Oh my god, I don't think dude has a TP. He's actually hidden in the trees, Busk. They did not know about him. He has to send himself out of TP right now, as we see. B-Pro pushing the mid and bottom lane.
Process behind that Nymport, though? I don't know.
I almost want to say it's one of those cases where like everyone's shouting, go, 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 I got caught, and everyone just tries to jump in the Nymport, but they were just a little bit too far from it. As we saw, Kinesis couldn't get there in time. Sheepstick will come out on the Magnus here. This should be a kill. I don't foresee him surviving here. Meanwhile, they do take out the Congor. This was, what, their second Congor on Hellborn.
So we had 10 Kongs this game. Wow. It's pretty crazy.
8 for one team and 2 for another. 800 HP extra on Tremble.
Yeah, so they have 4 players with an extra 800 health on Legion. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think it's only Deadwood took damage, right?
Yeah. Like, just look at the health on the support heroes, man. That's crazy.
That's crazy, actually.
I think
2600 HP on Nymph, 24. And they don't have that many items. Supports have a lot of items to grow. It's just they can't really farm very efficiently.
2600 health on Nymphora, man. What is going on?
So Busk, what do you think about the XP almost being equal at 1 hour? It's literally almost dead even.
Yeah, 140.
The gold lead is 9,000, which at late game 9,000 gold lead is just a matter of like two items. It's more
spread over 5 here. Spread over 5 players is kind of nothing over.
So Forest gets caught by a Sheepstick Shatterstorm. Snooki's gonna go down here. He has 1 buyback remaining, dead for 100 seconds. Tremble's already at the mid lane. He's feeling like he needs to get some tower damage and he's going to force 2 TPs and the Glyph. So the Glyph is now on cooldown. And it looks like he will be just fine. I don't think they're able to catch him here. Meanwhile, dude gets caught in the bot lane. So They did find Nymphora. One
I
more
think
kill
we
goes their way.
didn't. Did we call out the fact that they got a Nullstone on Plague Rider and a Sheepstick on Nullstone?
Oh, the lift goes down. Here's the Storm Spirit from Magnus. He channels the Eruption. But doesn't have the... No, he does have the Shrunken up. So he's going to be just fine. Plague Rider goes down. And Tremble... He's going to get stunned up here. Oh, is this a kill? There's the Sheepstick into the arrow, and Fa goes down. He has his last buyback as well. So 3 players are dead for Doghouse. And Deadwood, he's just still chilling up here in the trees. Just waiting. Very patiently. But yeah, to go back to your point, we did not mention the Nullstone on Plague Rider. Do you like it? Not like it?
I think it's fine. Like, it makes it... Oh, Lord is gonna feed here, I think.
I think so, yeah. They get him.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. I mean, what else would he buy? Like, maybe a Resto? I guess would be the alternative.
Yeah, he could buy a Shrunken, but then he still gets punched by Deadwood and stuff. He still gets ensnared by Tremble. Again, the Nullstone has... We talked about why Valkyrie bought the Nullstone this game. There's just a lot of really good spells it can block. Now, they do get the counter-racks mid lane.
Suddenly Legion has a... Yeah, exactly. They got the mid-racks, which is kind of unfortunate for them. They would much rather have one of the other lanes. Would have been... Yeah, so if they're gonna push another time, they kind of have to de-push... Yeah, either top or bottom. It's gonna be annoying.
One tier 4 tower fell in Hellborn space also, so that is a little bit of damage done also. And the remaining tier 4 tower, almost 1300 life.
Yo, you know what? I'm gonna credit the fact that Fall suicided for the range rack. That's why they got the base tower.
Oh, okay. So yeah, his death here earlier actually got them this base tower. That is very true.
I think he knew that, and he was way ahead of us.
I think so too. A player of Fa's caliber, I definitely think he thought about this ahead of time. So he goes Geobane after Hellflower. He's gonna have a little bit more.
And he's had the
pushing
Geobane for like 10 minutes, I think.
Okay, yeah, I haven't noticed it.
But
He's got 3,500 gold.
The Kinesis though is very new, I think.
Oh wow, that's a big item pickup for. They
And
have
also
actually double hex. Oh, Nymph sold his staff. What do you think about that decision? He sold his staff for the sheep stick. So maybe he was about halfway to his sheep and decided, I don't need the staff anymore. He didn't upgrade, I don't think, anyone on his team, so it wasn't like a full commitment item.
So the thing is, Valk sold his boots and got BKB.
Plague Rider might get caught here. Plague Rider's dead. He has a buyback though. I think he might use it. We'll see. He's gonna buy back right away. We'll see if B-Pro gets any more kills. He's gonna maybe just defend the top lane with Plague Rider. Arrow does not connect there. He saw Snicky stutter step. He's making sure not to walk into that. That would have been very bad if he got arrowed there. Plague Rider, I think he used his ultimate top for the creep wave. He just decided, screw it, I'm gonna ulti. It's a 1 minute cooldown. Oh, Tremble ports in bottom. One posting is coming in. This could be the South Forest. They're gonna kill the Plague Rider, and they use the Tremble Shrunken Head for that kill, which I think is fine. They got the buyback and the second death on the Plague Rider, so he's staying dead for 90 more seconds.
So the thing with the Nymph staff, to get value out of the stun, it's much easier against, like you can see the Nymph stun coming, right? So if you have BKB, you're most likely not going to be hit from it unless you're already stunned.
Oh, Valkyrie!
I'm guessing...
Snicky uses the Resto. He gets the Undying. He used the first Undying to break the Nullstone for the Sheepstick. And Valk is going to die. She does have both her buybacks here. Now she has no boots. She sold the last, her last item for the Shrunken Head. She will buy back here. The Sheepstick is on a curse. He gets Storm Spirit. He already used his Flame Consumption. Eruption comes out, dealing some good damage. Faw's getting locked down. He didn't have a Shrunken for 15 more seconds, and he does have one more buyback. We'll see if he uses it and maybe ports to one of his mounts. Here comes the Prism from Valkyrie. Lion Sun from the Kinesis with that Lava Surge. Meanwhile, at the base, we see two players low HP trying to hold that last tier 4 tower, and mid lane Mosher gets caught out here by the Magnus Valkyrie combo. So he falls on the Kinesis. So two players are dead. One of them has a buyback, and wow, that that was a sequence, as we see almost the shrine getting exposed there in the Hellborn space.
Yeah, I mean, they're still hanging in there. The game is dead even in terms of resources. It's just the Rax advantage.
This is a nail biter.
Yes.
Second buyback from Fall. He is out of buybacks. They are potentially losing the Self Forest. He's taking so much damage, but he gets to safety. And now here comes the Storm Spirit on the Trembles. He ports in with the Mount. He does still have his Shrunken, but he doesn't use it. Oh no, he gets Lava Surge. And Fall is staying dead. He has no more buybacks. We'll see what B-Pro can do with this kill, as they have only gotten the one rack so far. 2 more still to gain. But all 5 players are alive now for B-Pro, and they have 90 seconds to do something here with Fa dead. 40 seconds still on Kinesis respawn. He also does not have a buyback. We have Veiled Rotted Plague Rider. He has the Sheepstick, maybe looking for an initiation. As we see B-Pro, they're kind of hesitating going into Doghouse's base, but they're slowly making their way. They take out the statue. Here comes the Sheepstick on the Deadwood. Magmus, he jumps in, but he doesn't get a Lava Surge off. He gets counter Sheepstick, and Deadwood, he's holding his ground in the Nymph Pod. Magmus, he is going to fall back here very low on life, and nobody has fallen just yet, Busk. Will there be any kills coming out here, as it is currently a 5 versus 3? Are we going to see them go for the throne? Here comes the Sheepstick on the Lord Self-Force. He does have one more buyback. He's going to need to use it, as he does end up falling here. Suki will buy back immediately. Lodestone, he is very low from the tower pressure, and they are going in. Here comes Magmus. He's going to get Storm Shredded up by the Team Sport. Will he die when he falls back down? He will. And Valkyrie, she gets Rotten Grasp. She does not have a Shrunken. No, she has her Shrunken on for a few more seconds. Here comes the Storm Spirit on the Deadwood. They're kiting. And now, Sheepstick on the Valkyrie. He gets Willowmakered. Will he fall? He will fall. He has one more buyback. Will he use it? He does immediately. Kinesis falls. It is just a symphony of buybacks. Meanwhile, at the base, the Shrine Busk is going down to the creeps. It is below half-life. There's still a fight going on at the Legion's base as the port out is happening from, who is that? The Plague Rider. So, all in all, 3 players are now out of buybacks. 2 of them from Doghouse, both the Self-Forest and the Tremble, and then the Valkyrie out of buyback. She sold... What did she sold her Nullstone to get a post haste, so she needed to get back into the fight. Lowstone, he buys the big potion. He smokes up. They're looking for a pick-off. Currently still 2 players dead from the Doghouse. If they get the big kill is the Tremble here. He has no buybacks. He's the only one alive that has no buybacks remaining. That is the guy that they want. Deadwood and Nymphora. No gold for a buyback, but still with 2 remaining. Are they just going to go for the tier 4s? 1 tier 4. Oh, that's an illusion. What am I missing here? Nymphora gets caught by the Valkyrie. She goes down. Tremble activates his Shrunken. He's going to eat the Shatterstorm, but he doesn't care. He's trying to bring down this Lodestone. He does have the Ensnare coming back up, I believe. But he's on the run, actually. He portal keys out. He finds himself completely outnumbered, as they were dead on 2, and Nymph got picked off right at the start. So only Deadwood could help him there. And with no protective items, he had to portal key away. So Fa avoids death. Very good job from him to stay alive. Trying to buy time for Snooki to respawn, which he will be up in 3 more seconds. The tier 4 tower, the first one will fall. Meanwhile, Plague Rider doing everything he can at the Hellborn base to try to hold the shrine alive. Tier 4 tower is going to fall. The World Tree is exposed now, and 2 players are still dead. Kinesis does respawn. Will this be the game? As Lord Self-Force, he gets eaten by an arrow here. The World Tree, Valkyrie, he's doing everything he can to hit this World Tree, and they can't stop it. Doghouse is going to lose as B-Pro takes out the World Tree, Busk. What a finish here to this best of 1 between B-Pro and Doghouse. I cannot believe we saw the base go down in such a fashion.
I like the comment in chat. Well played by Imba. Nice. I think that would unfortunately hit the Valk illusion with the Willowmaker. I don't know if it would have made a difference.
Oh no.
Wow. Insult to injury, right?
That was a hell of a game. A very back and forth. What was the game length? Was that like a 70-minute game or something? It was a very, very long game. I have to double check now. It was a almost 67-minute game. So definitely, I think maybe fatigue even might be kicking in at that point. Once you hit the past 1 hour mark, you start to maybe get tired and start to make slip-ups. But man, that was quite a showing from both teams.
Imagine you have 8 Congor buffs, and you have 3 hexes, and you have double racks, and you still lose.
8 Congor buffs, yeah, that is very true. Doghouse had 8 Congor buffs, 800 HP extra on 4 of their heroes.
And yeah, I mean, they were ahead for pretty much the whole game, except maybe the last tiny bit. Dude, 3 sheepsticks, 2 hellflowers. Jesus Christ, man.
Lord Force looks like he sold his demonic for a hyper crown. Whether or not that was ultimately good or not was a question.
Hmm.
Um, we saw Valkyrie sell her null stone for a post haste. So many things were happening in this game as we got toward the end there. Um, Bloodstone had a sheepstick, by the way, at the end. That's definitely he sold. I think he, or maybe the Adept's Cloak doesn't show up on the end game screen. Actually, I think that might be an interface bug. But he had the sheepstick, which was a great item for him in the end game. Both the supports, as you talked about from Doghouse, had sheepsticks as well. This was definitely quite the battle here. Almost sad to say that this was the best of one. We didn't get to see a full best of three. Um, but yeah,
I
any
mean,
final like thoughts about the game or like the outcome or anything? I
I
mean, this
think it
was
was very,
crazy.
very entertaining. I think if you watch the game and you pay close attention the first 20, 30 minutes, you will think this game is going to be over very soon and Doghouse is going to win. Especially right after Doghouse gets the second racks
Mm-hmm.
without being down any racks themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you would think there's no way they would lose. But somehow, I mean, Snack's team, they just come out ahead.
Yeah,
Pretty
we
good.
also questioned the Valkyrie carry. They last picked a Valkyrie from B Pro, and ultimately they just built a lot of team fight heroes around the Valkyrie. Almost kind of surprising, both you and myself, that they were actually able to pull off a victory running that position one
So I'm
Valkyrie.
thinking, like almost any hero that is 6 slotted is gonna be able to deal damage if you build it right. So I think that's what happened here. I don't think it's because Valk is a hero that deals a lot of physical damage, because I don't think it is. I think a hero that is 6 slotted is gonna deal a lot of damage. I think that's what happened here.